Different levels, I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played.
I wanted to wait before I started talking about the situation at Southern University because I wanted to make sure that all the facts came out before I even took a position and before I even decided to review what was happening, because I know social media on social media, and this situation with Caleb Wilson and Omega Psi Phi fraternity down there at Southern is as a member of the D9, as a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, and this is one of the most things that you definitely don't want to hear about. Somebody getting hazed to death, like that is never something that you want to hear about when it comes to an initiate wanting to join one of our beloved organizations. But in this situation, this has happened, and it has made its rounds all around the internet, on every national news outlet over the last couple of weeks, and it has brought a bad eye to every single member of the Divine Nine organizations. It has brought a bad look. And in the era of social media, where things go viral real quick, we can't have things like this happening. Not in these organizations, because every time that there is a hazing incident, the fraternity is going to have to pay out to the family. And every single time these things happen, that means as members, we are covering the expenses of some other members' actions. And I don't like my money that I pour into my fraternity being spent on paying out lawsuits that can be avoided. So let's go down to Baton Rouge and hear what they're saying on the news down there. Let me get, I thought I had the video pulled up. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
3 suspects arrested in the alleged hazing death of Caleb Wilson. Police say each of the suspects punched Omega Psi Phi pledges that night nearly 2 weeks ago, but the warrants suggest only Caleb McRae delivered the fatal blow.
Arrest warrants reveal the role each played. Here is Maddie Kurth now with what investigators are saying the other 2 men did as they now face a felony.
John, this is exclusive video here of 28-year-old Isaiah Smith turning himself into Baton Rouge police this morning. Investigators say he held the title Dean of Pledges within the fraternity and that he punched at least one person that night. His bond was set at $25,000. He and 25-year-old Kyle Thurman now face criminal hazing charges, which were upgraded to a felony in Louisiana 7 years ago. They each face up to 5 years in prison if convicted. Now, police say Wilson and 8 other pledges were in a warehouse leased to Smith's father. Thurman is accused of punching one half of the. An arrest warrant says McRae delivered 4 blows to Wilson's chest before he collapsed to the ground unconscious. It sees that additional manslaughter charge now punishable by up to 40 years in prison. Investigators say the pledges were then ushered into another room while frat leadership tended to Wilson, changing his clothes before loading him up into Smith's car and dropping him off at a hospital and leaving before the police arrived. A preliminary autopsy found a small bruise on the right side of Wilson's chest. The coroner says his body was released to a funeral home last week, but that official cause and manner of his death is still pending.
I don't expect this to go to trial, but it could. But I think they're going to be trying to look for mercy rather than to be defiant in this case. Well, that would be my advice if I was representing them.
Now the standard procedures play out with arraignments and motion hearings. McRae is due back in court in May, and Smith is to return in June. Their lawyers spoke outside of the courthouse.
Isaiah is terribly remorseful about this. This is nothing that anybody wanted. And I think we're still in a state of shock about what's going on.
My client is grieving right now. He's grieving the loss of a friend. He's grieving the potential loss of his life. I mean, this is a traumatic event.
We're still waiting on a bond amount and the next court date for Thurman. In the meantime, Wilson's family will host a public memorial Friday at the F.G. Clark Activity Center in Baton Rouge. That's from noon to 5, with a celebration of life service to follow.
The rest of the fraternity, they got to sit up there and pick up the pieces. They got to pay out millions of dollars to this family because this is a wrongful death. And these guys weren't even students on campus. This is, it just pisses me off. This whole situation pissed me off. And I've seen people try to defend this. I've seen folks saying, well, how do we know everything like that? This guy was bruised, punched in the chest 4 times. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't just no soft taps to the chest. I'm pretty sure, dude, they say he had on boxing gloves. So he was probably sitting back, just swinging hard as he could, just trying to cave the dude's chest in. For what, though? Like, what does that even teach? What does that even teach? That you could possibly kill somebody? And now you want mercy. You're grieving. This is bad. Well, what about this man's family? I'm pretty sure they didn't send him down there to die on campus. Seemed like a good young man, a good GPA, was in the band. Seemed like he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. And he just wanted to be a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity and lost his life because of it. Should be a constant reminder that the way of old was wrong then. Hazing has always been wrong. There are plenty of ways for people to show you that they are serious, that they're going to show loyalty, that they're going to be good brothers. There's plenty of ways that you can do things to see if they are worthy, if that is what you're trying to do, without putting your hands on somebody. Anytime you put your hands on somebody else unwarranted, that's assault. And to the kids that are in school, that are in college, and you trying to become a member of one of these organizations, don't put yourself in this situation. It is not worth it. You see what just happened. That could be you next. Your family could be the next one sitting up there looking for answers, and the community is mourning you. So don't participate in that stuff. It don't make you a better brother. When you go to the alumni world, nobody's going to care. All right? Because eventually you're not going to be an undergrad. You're going to have to be an alumni eventually. So just don't participate in that stuff. And if somebody trying to get you to go off campus, off site to some random location, and you show up somewhere and there's a bunch of people there, then you already know what's about to go down. It's probably going to be more people being charged with this. These are the first 3. These are the 3 that we know about. I'm pretty sure the rest of them, it's going to be a lot more. Because I don't think that it was just, I mean, if it's 7 people online, then I'm pretty sure it was probably about 20, 30 people in there, if that. Change the boy clothes. That's what y'all thought about him, and y'all want remorse. The judge shouldn't have none. 0. And I'm glad that they upping the charges, because they should be upped. And you can't get it for murder though. So that's gonna be out the window. But manslaughter, we can do manslaughter, because your actions caused the death of somebody else.